Mission complete.
Gonna go ahead and cut the music there. Welcome one and all to the second episode of this new edition of the Reset Button. I'm super pumped. I hope everybody else is.
I'm
because, like I said, this is just the second episode. It's a completely branding of the way we used to do things. Now, we're doing it with a bit of kick. I'm bringing some folks that I know that maybe you know, maybe this is the first time you've met these folks, but they're great. They're from my past. And they're from a lot of the past that has been in some people's childhoods. Specifically you, sir, Mr. Bryan Baker over there.
And we're someone's childhood?
Oh, you're part of many people's childhood.
Wow.
Yeah. I know it's hard to think of that, isn't it?
I mean, there's gray hairs in this beard now, so it was probably bound to happen at some point.
There's a lot of people that are like, yeah, a lot of people are like, I remember old school ScrewAttack. I remember that. And this guy was part of it. So Bryan Baker, formerly of ScrewAttack, now RoosterTeeth.
Yep.
Man, I remember when did you first come on again? Was it early 2009?
So I started as an intern. It was May 2008. So yeah, because I had the intern summer and then started doing freelance like video game vaults that fall. And just kind of hung around long enough until I wound up on staff. I was trying to figure that out recently. Like, I don't recall the exact dates of like when all of the like changes happened. I just remember May 2008 is when I like started.
Okay, so it was a little before then. By the way, thank you for that sub. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Helps continue shows like this and all sorts of nice, fun future endeavors.
Happy to help.
One of the first things I remember that when it came to you being on camera, I'm going to throw this out here and see if anybody else scraggling in remembers this. Oh my. So, who remembers from ScrewAttack the Backstreet Fighter boys?
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. The Backstreet Fighter boys, because one of the scenes where it cuts over to an arcade game, it's you and it's good old ADD at work. I don't know if you remember being in that video.
I'm trying to real hard right now. Maybe.
Yep, it was you and Mark Carr that was in a random B-roll shot.
Yeah, it's like I know I didn't have like any kind of like lead role in that. It's like, well, yeah, had to have been just some kind of like, yeah, just B-roll supporting cast sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember the song.
Who could forget that song?
I can't quite pull all of the video back out of my mind.
I mean, it showed off Chad's amazing dance moves that nobody knew he had.
Oh God, that's something I also forgotten about. The boy is multi-talented for sure.
That's true. That's true. So before we start cracking into like your background and your history and everything like that, first off, I want anybody who's coming in here right now watching this thing, anybody and everybody, just to give you a big hand because, like I was saying before we went live, you have transformed into a beast, my friend.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
You have gotten the swole on.
What?
It's good to see you still got the beard. I appreciate that.
The lights.
Look at that.
The camera's not that great. It's like blowing out, but there you go. There's something.
Look at that. I mean, what happened there? Because I don't remember you being like shredded and swole ever being a thing before. Was that just like a COVID came along and now I've got a goal kind of thing?
I mean, I think part of it was like, it was definitely kind of like on my mind just to get in better shape.
As we all should.
I had like really kind of started somewhere in like probably fall of like 2018 or 19, somewhere back there. And like it was just something I didn't like make a huge like public deal about And then yeah, like so I was kind of just working on it slowly on my own. And then
Hmm.
like COVID hit, which then like even for like coworkers, we generally like lost that like daily update of each other. So I kind of went dark on the world. Like I don't have a huge social media presence to begin with, and then yeah, I kind of just popped up in what was that? Fall of 2020. I was like, here's progress. Like just like random, like I like this shirt kind of photo. That's whenever everyone's like,
Yeah.
what the hell happened? It's like, well, physical activity kept me sane in quarantine. I finally get it when kids or when parents are like, I have to send my kids out to play. They gotta go burn off this energy. Like definitely, I still kind of have a collection of things that combine like my like kind of work from home or home workout tiny apartment gym. I've got some things there. There's a kettlebell here. There's some adjustable dumbbells. I may or not at one point have gone and bought the sturdiest broom I could at Home Depot and run it between some chairs to make like a rowing station.
Ooh.
And thankfully, I didn't break my chairs. But I
Yeah.
definitely MacGyvered my way through that phase.
Just set it up best you can. If it works, it works. At least you're not like trying to do like some sort of really MacGyver chin ups and like breaks you fall to the floor. That would suck.
No, I looked real long and hard to find like the like safest. So I definitely I've got the doorway pull up bar, and I definitely was like, all right, how do I like make this not completely wreck the doorway, and like all like the make sure I don't like eat shit on it.
Right,
'Cause I
right.
definitely also saw the videos when it was the people like getting the resistance bands, like the ones you gotta hook up again like to a door, and they definitely put the bands on like the wrong side of the door, or like the way like the door swung. So like they were like full going on like a set, and like the door came loose and would like just hit him in the face. I
Oh.
I did my best to avoid those moments.
Oh shit, dude. I didn't know anything like that happened to people.
Well, yeah, because I mean, it's like don't pull on the same side that like your door hinge is like open to.
Right.
You're kind of asking for trouble.
Yeah, a bit. A bit. But yeah, I'm kind of doing the same thing, but I am not getting your results, man. Not even close. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Got a fiance is making sure I hit the gym. We're trying to do this same exercise program that came from a trainer she knows.
Mm,
Like started it this morning, and like you're supposed to be sore the next day, right?
yeah,
I came home like 5 minutes getting through the door, I was sore. So
the
this man's gonna kill me.
the DOMs happen. You got to work through the DOMs.
So I'm gonna make it, and I'm just gonna be a fucking beast, just out there slinging cars, or I'm dead.
It's gonna like suck for like the first week or two, but you'll once you get used to it, it's fine. You'll adapt. You'll progress. That happens.
Well, again, man, congrats on that.
Thank
It's
you.
awesome. I I remember talking to Chad, who was saying like the first time he found out about it, because he said you guys were just just talking like through text and whatnot, never in person because of everything going on. And then he
Uh
saw the same photo you were talking about. It was like, dude, what the hell? So you caught everybody off guard, but awesome, dude.
Thanks.
You may not know it, but you have a Rooster Teeth Wikipedia page.
Uh oh.
I don't know if you've been vanity searching yourself,
No,
but you do.
I haven't gone that deep.
You do. We're gonna see how much truth there is on this page. We're gonna
Okay,
find out some stuff about you.
okay, let's go.
Some of it I already know is true, but we'll see. We'll see.
Let's go.
All right, Bryan Baker here. They don't know your actual age. Age 30 to 31. They don't quite know.
Well, that's under. That's the under for sure. Add 4 years to that at minimum.
There you go. Bryan Baker is an employee of Rooster Teeth Productions, is the
That
official title.
that's true.
working as a technical director and broadcast engineer.
Generally true.
Prior to this, he worked for ScrewAttack and GameAttack. Obviously, both true.
Confirmed.
Bryan graduated from University of North Texas, where he earned a Bachelor of Arts in Radio, TV, and Film.
Yep. That happened.
I knew it was UNT, but I didn't know if it was that.
Yep.
You attended from 2005 to 2009.
Uh-huh.
Solid so far. All right. Whoever wrote the wiki, you're winning this, man. He first started at ScrewAttack as an intern, where he worked as an editor for Video Game Vault.
Yeah, those were the first things I did. That happened.
He went on to become community manager for the company in 2010.
Was it 2010? I guess maybe it was.
I was thinking it was a little later than that, but I knew that was correct.
Yeah, I definitely did. That's one of those ones I don't recall the exact year that it happened. I know it was before we moved into the Lake Park or into the Game Attack store to make it the next HQ. So it was still on Lake Park Road.
Yeah. And I remember the line of succession with that pretty much was first, I remember you were community manager, and then I think Sean Bowen took that part over, didn't he?
Yeah, Bowen took it after me.
All right, so 100% so far. In 2014, he became a live show producer.
Did live shows? I guess.
Is that when ScrewAttack started streaming on Twitch? Do you think that's what the person was referring to?
No, I was running stuff before 2014. Because 2014 was when we moved from the Game Attack store HQ down to what was the final ScrewAttack office there in Louisville. Because I started running stuff once we had moved. It was generally once we moved into Game Attacks into the store space. I was running things for as far as like the live streams and really like taking charge of that. So it might have been 2011, 2012 was about the time I started doing those.
So iffy on the year, but they were right that you were pretty much like the producer. You were the guy in charge of the live stuff.
I mean, I guess like getting like really picky about titles. I mean, it was more director or manager than producer. I wasn't doing a ton of the creative. I was doing more just like the execution part of it.
Right. You were the one making sure that, shit was on fire, everything looked the way it should.
Yeah.
All that goodness.
Yep. That was more what I was doing.
October 2016, Bryan, along with Craig, Parker, and Sean, all left ScrewAttack to form Game Attack.
I guess that was the official day, because we actually started getting rolling on like Game Attack content like that summer.
Yeah.
Like that was when we first started kind of really like making progress on stuff. I guess it was October of that year when that brand like officially launched.
Yeah, but at that point, it wasn't like an independent endeavor, was it?
No, at that point, it was still. I mean, it was, I guess, separate from ScrewAttack, but still owned by RoosterTeeth at that point.
Right. Yeah, when I'm reading here, it almost makes it sound like you said, "Peace out, I'm going to go do this," and that's not really what happened.
No, but there was just an afternoon where I was at my desk working on, maybe it was Who Is, and Craig just rolled up and was like, "Hey, I'm doing this thing called Game Attack. You're gonna be part of it." I was like, "Okay." That's about how it went.
That's easy.
That's about how it went.
That's the easiest way to get that gig.
Yeah.
In May 2017, Bryan left Game Attack to become a technical director and broadcast engineer for RoosterTeeth.
Yep, that is.
And that's where you are to this very day.
That's me.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So this seems like it's something that you've been studying for, preparing for, under the tutelage of other people to step up and be that kind of technical director, that kind of content producer. Where did you first decide this is what you really wanted to do?
I mean, I guess going like the way back. Probably so when I was like second half of high school, here in Austin, University of Texas was doing an open house for like, come see our different schools and come see our different majors and all that business. And at the time, I was actually thinking like architecture was like the main thing in my head, but also like pretty much since elementary school, like I've been doing some combination of theater and band. So like creative stuff was always like part of my life, pretty much. I mean, even I think my mom made me start piano lessons at like first grade, so creativity was always just present in one way or another. Yeah, so this open house comes and see the architecture, and then just kind of on a whim decide to go check out, I guess whatever was at the time, UT, just like media school. I don't think it was like RTVF at that point. I still got to go into their student station, and they was like, "Hey, do any kids want to come like and try like test their hand at directing a show or punching a show?" So volunteered to do that and sat down. Just kind of at that point, felt right between some combination of performing with an instrument in my hands. I think also being a gamer probably factored into it.
Yeah.
Kind of playing a game in a way. So I was always kind of going to college with the intent of doing something broadcast in one way or another. It was always kind of the plan. I didn't stumble into this kind of industry the way other people have.
And it doesn't always have to be the straight and narrow of everything. Like the job I do, which I've mentioned on here before. So if you're a regular, if you're not, you'll figure it out. But no way the path I took would lead me into this government position I do. It's ridiculous, but sometimes there's plenty of different ways to get to where you need to be, man.
Oh, for sure. I think I'm just. I feel like I think maybe it's because it's being on the internet, at least for a long time. It seemed like just almost feel like the exception than the rule, rather to have gone to like for it to like always be like the plan and to actually like end up there. At least as far as like being on like stuff that went to straight to YouTube was concerned.
Yeah. Well, so thinking of the best way to ask you with this one, because I know the place you went was not a very big, well-known place. So I guess first thing I'd want to know is where did you think you were going originally once you graduated?
Well, so I guess it was. I mean, being in North Texas, being there in Denton, you're right outside of the fifth largest media market in the country of Dallas Fort Worth. I had applied for internships as two places. One was ScrewAttack, the other was the regional Fox Sports channels based in Irving, so just down the road. And the reason I had gotten the offer of the ScrewAttack internship, and then I did the interview with Fox Sports, and when I kind of followed up on that one, got the response of like, you were like this close to like getting an offer from us, but when you said you weren't really into baseball, that was kind of what like the deal breaker for us because it is the summer, which means going to like work Rangers games.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess like I mean, yeah, I had the ScrewTech internship going into my senior year of college, and then I was, freelancing afterwards with them. So I already kind of had that balance of like, I can do this freelance stuff, and I've got like a on-campus job. Between those two, I'm like paying the bills, and while that's going, I'll try to see what else is in like in the field, in the market, and just as time wore on and like ScrewAttack kept progressing and growing, there were just I was just doing more there, and I just didn't really kind of feel the need as much to kind of go elsewhere. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like I liked who I worked with, I liked what we were doing, I liked where it seemed like we were heading. So like I didn't intend, I guess, to be at ScrewAttack the way that I ended up being that way. It just kind of worked out that way.
Just kind of fell together.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And how did it feel to think, like, you're going in there, you're an intern, you're editing the video game vaults like we talked about. Basically, you're becoming the internet's version of, like, X-Play, of different stuff like that. So how did that feel, to know that you were doing, like, an online version, kind of pioneering that stuff at that point?
I think on like the day-to-day, really didn't think too much on like kind of the broader scope of things. That's like kind of something that I think comes up more in hindsight now. On the day-to-day, it was I get to go to work with like a bunch of my friends, and I know we're probably gonna end up doing something crazy in one way or another, and we're gonna have fun, and we're gonna make something fun, and we're gonna put it out for people that like to see what we do, and we're just gonna see where it goes. We weren't worried so much about the long term, the big picture of it. We were just trying to make this thing go as best we could.
And I would say it went pretty well, considering, like I said, you are a part of the childhood of quite a few people out there. Whether you
Alright.
want to believe it or not, man. That original lineup of everybody with old ScrewAttack, people say it all the time. I miss old ScrewAttack. I miss Chad and this guy and that guy, and you're always one of the people brought up.
Aw.
So there you go. There's people out there who think you're fantastic. Dude, you got your own wiki page.
If that's my validation, then I'll take it.
You got validation, my friend. You've got it. Looking back in hindsight, now, like you said, because you can't think of it in the now. Hindsight is when it really hits you, when you're looking back. Looking back, do you think, like, a lot of people like to say, don't hype it. Let it be its thing. Do you think it was that big of a deal when you're looking back?
I mean, it just definitely like there's definitely things we can like look back at and like definitely kind of point to as like starting points for this person or that person, or just kind of like these you could say certain shows, certain pieces of content like pave the way for this, that, or the other thing. But I don't get too hung up on trying to like claim, I guess, like what we are or were or were not responsible for, and whatever kind of like ripple effect we might have had on the larger internet. Just for like as much as I even, just kind of talking about just I guess YouTubers at large in general. There's so many people out there doing things that could have done something similar or the same, and that could have been seen by someone else, and it ended up having that same similar effect. Like I think the thing that I guess I saw kind of got hung up the most on was honestly it was at a Magfest, the Colossus yell. Like this is such a smaller scale thing, but like I guess that you asked like Craig and Chad, they're very adamant about like ScrewAttack being responsible for the Colossus yell. But yeah, it's like you wouldn't like ask people nowadays the origin of the Colossus yell at Magfest, like we wouldn't come up. I don't
No,
know.
probably not.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't worry about that stuff too much.
Don't
Yes,
sweat the small stuff. Just
yeah,
remember the good memories.
yeah. I mean, like what we do, and just say thank you when someone says, you were an influence. This, that, or the other thing is why I did this. It's like cool. That's the part that's worth it.
Yeah. That's the part that just hits home, man. It really is. We got some people saying, a wiki page, just so you know, wiki page is the ultimate form of validation, unless it's Encyclopedia Dramatica.
Oh, I haven't thought about that
You,
site in forever.
you don't want that. You don't want that. But the
No,
other stuff, we'll keep.
I don't think I've thought about Encyclopedia Dramatica past whenever like the Craig and Tom stuff would come up. Maybe Jared,
And
like that's about
yeah,
it.
probably. Probably. I think everybody else is safe.
Yeah,
At least I hope. I don't know. Is anybody really safe from Encyclopedia Dramatica? It's hard to tell.
I couldn't tell you.
Apparently, the Colossus Yell is still a thing as of 2020.
Oh, okay.
So it's still ongoing. You still have that presence. And I know exactly, like, if somebody came over and they're like, oh, hey, Magfest, Colossus Yell, I got you. I know exactly what you're talking about.
If you know, you know.
You know. All right, take us through, just if you can, without, I don't know if you have any secrets that you can't, reveal or anything like that. We don't want a shuriken to go through the window and hit you in the side of the head or anything like that. That'd be bad. Are you already looking? I hope you're safe. I hope it's going to be okay, man. But take us through some of the really cool big stuff that you've done for Rooster Teeth. Like, one thing in particular that I know that you were a part of and it still blows my mind was RTX at home. That had to be a beast.
Oh God. Oh. Yeah. The RTX at home. So that was a juggling masterpiece. Like as much as I, was part of a team for that, there's a guy named Michael Lindblad who needs a lot of he is like the technical wizard of broadcast. He is the guy pulling all of the late nights and long weekends to like really like get us in position to do something like RTX at home. All of like the heavy lifting is on him. And that was a combo of myself, and then we usually had. So we ran it through. There's a software called vMix, which is like a kind of an all-in-one box of like broadcasting. I don't call it. It's more advanced than OBS, but not like a full-size studio.
Right.
Either way, so I was in our actual studio in Stage 5 at RT. And then we usually had 3 or 4 other people doing remote panels from home. And we were all sending to Michael had a master control station where we were all just sending to, and he could seamlessly switch between the bunch of us.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, RTX at home is a credit to so many people pulling that together, coordinating all of the panelists and the producers, getting everyone together, and juggling everyone having to learn, if they weren't using them already, Discord and vMix and remote calls and ugh. there were so many moving parts to that for the last for at home 2020 and 21. We had so many moving parts to that thing that like it took a small army to make happen.
Gonna pull from a quick question from Chad here, because I'm sure this ties right into it. Dumpster Monkey wants to know, how did the virtual meet and greets work? What was the technical wizardry behind that?
So the ones I was a part of, I know I didn't touch most of those really at all. I know we had another like third party system that their service those ran through. Because even the ones that I did, we had to. I mean, it's the kind of the part I was familiar with, or like was part of, was having to figure out how to get our like in studio camera and mics through to our call to their software, and then getting like the chat from that to the studio floor. There's something like that. Was genuinely a part of the RTX I didn't have a ton to do with, so I can't speak too much on it.
Hmm.
I just know it. Again, lots of moving parts and people coordinating on our side of things.
Oh, I'm sure everybody had to be a nervous wreck too.
I mean, when you spend most of these for 2020, you spend a lot of your year going, okay, we're still going to be there in the summer. We'll be there Labor Day. We're online. I
Hey,
think
you gotta. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and the show must go on.
I think we put 2020 like once they're like we're doing it remotely. I think that part of it came together in like 3 weeks. Like it was fast. Once they're like we just have to do this remotely, like that came together like real fast.
I remember it just being a wild concept because actually, Game Days for Good, then G1 Game Days was a part of. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I believe we were a part of RTX at Home 2020, and that was just a wild endeavor to just suddenly a channel, in Discord, it's dead. It's live. Everybody start talking. Everybody start answering questions, and then dead again. Everybody get your mics in sync, and had to test all these things. And I don't know about all the other folks in the group, but I was just like, oh shit.
And we did that for like 10 days.
Oh my god. Uh and I have to see circuit court judges for work every day. I'd rather keep seeing the judges personally. No thanks. No thanks. That's just my god. Okay, well, I'm going to switch gears a little bit here because we talked about how much of a beast Bryan Baker is. We know that. How much of a technical wizard Bryan Baker is when it comes to making shows and putting them together and making them happen. We know that. What does Bryan Baker do to relax?
Um, I I think in the last actually on the things I can't relax on. So I managed to get a PS5 in September. I
Congrats.
bought it with Deathloop, and for some reason I could never get off the first beach of Deathloop. And I
Oh,
was like, weird. I guess I caught some like weird, crazy bug. So PS5 sits there for like 6 months as just a expensive decoration. Horizon Forbidden West comes out. Get that. Game also like crashes on me. So I actually just yesterday I shipped off my PS5 to I guess Sony's like repair center. So they can be like, yeah, it's probably like overheating or something. We'll fix it. I'm fingers crossed on that one.
it's wild.
Yeah. It's like
I haven't really heard of like PlayStation 5s having problems like that.
yeah, because it's not I guess not as like widespread as like I mean you think the Xbox 360, the Red Ring of Death, or like PS3 Yellow Lights. It's not that I guess as that like common, but
Yeah.
still happen. I did realize I don't in the last 2 years now. Oof. Um, I don't think I've like watched nearly as much anime in any other 2 years span as I have like in pandemic times. Either like new stuff or like catching up on
Mm-hmm.
shows. So a lot of that. I've got I guess now that like yeah my PS5 is off and I'm like hoping and praying for that. I also bought Sifu, so I'll probably start Sifu.
I'm not familiar with Sifu. What is Sifu?
Sifu is it's like a it's like a martial arts game. It's the developers like love letter. It's like Hong Kong action films,
Hmm.
but it's also a roguelite.
Kung Fu roguelike.
Yeah,
Fuck it, I'm down.
I've actually been hopping back on Into the Abyss recently, which is like it's a turn-based strategy, another roguelite. Been hopping back in that because I still had some medals to go get. I guess kind of my big thing has been, this Austin got its first professional anything team last year. I've got season tickets with some
Nice.
friends, so that's probably been the biggest thing. Although it's 2 hours of not maybe unwinding, maybe winding. Depends how the game goes. Depends how the team's doing. They're new. They're not the best. They have their moments.
They gotta start from somewhere. I mean, you stick it out, you know?
Exactly.
It's just like
I mean,
so
today they got a draw against one of like the better teams in the league. So progress.
there you go. Like, for anybody who doesn't know, and I'm sure everybody knows Marshall University, the movie We Are Marshall. So that's my alma mater. I graduated from Marshall University. There used to be an annual football game between Marshall and WVU called the Friends of Coal Bowl. And every single year, WVU beat Marshall. There was not a single year that Marshall won. Not one, not ever. But you still you still show up as a Marshall alum to the game, even though you've already read this book. You know what's going to happen, but you just got to show up. You got to support the team and not look horribly disappointed at the end. Those are the rules, man.
Sports fandom is weird and painful.
Oftentimes, fandom can be weird and painful.
And painful in general.
Bring out the pain. It's like being a Nintendo fan. You're asking for trouble.
You just it's more tangible, I guess, than like other fandoms that people seem to lose their shit over, like Star Wars.
Mm.
That's just a bit more tangible.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, there's a certain Star Wars movie, here or there, I could say, maybe it could have been better. Maybe it wasn't entirely for me, but I don't think it's worth, like, freaking out over, but that is fandom.
True.
That was also, that was a lot of ScrewAttack fandom, too, because, when there were reviews of different things like that, people just lost their minds. Did not agree.
It's actually, I vaguely remembered recently, I think it was one of the last written reviews I did. It's like it was, what was the final, the Batman Arkham Origins? Was that the final one of that trilogy?
Yeah, before it went to Arkham Knight.
Yeah. I don't know, I always like remember, because I was very green when it came to like writing reviews and maybe not the most like objective in the practice. I just remember like you in particular objecting to my take on Arkham Origins.
Oh, did you bash it? You didn't like it?
I didn't bash it. I think I said like rent it because it doesn't like really like do anything new and great, and you're just like, what's wrong with not doing anything new and great? Well, if it's just like at the standard of the previous game, why is that wrong?
And that's what I'll say to this day. I actually still say that, everybody. Arkham Origins did not bring anything new to the table. It didn't. But what it did is it towed the line. A very fine line, too. One of the nicest lines in gaming you could hope for. And then came Arkham Knight. And at that point, I bet everybody came back and said, okay, maybe you're right about Origins. Please ship Knight back.
Or the Deadpool game on 360 PS3.
Oh my god, I've never touched that.
I was like, the comedy's kind of overdone here, and all the comments were like, "You've never read Deadpool." I've read Deadpool. This is really overdoing the Deadpool. And some people disagree.
Sometimes you could just go a little overboard. Like Deadpool in any of like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. If you've ever dealt with him in those, he's fucking insufferable. He's supposed to be a fun character, but they just immediately sap the fun out of that character in those games. It's
I mean, he doesn't need to be like Deadpool from the the X-Men Origins Wolverine game that they did for the movie tie-in. It doesn't need to be that Deadpool, but like there's a middle ground in there somewhere.
Oh, there's always a middle ground. It's just they don't want to find it.
Yeah.
It's easier to do that than beg for forgiveness later.
As
All
long as
right,
they get
so
sales.
I ask everybody. Well, I say everybody, but this is episode 2. I asked the previous guest this question, so I'm going to ask it to you as well.
Okay.
Game collecting. Do you do it? How big is the collection? Do you want more?
I'm not so much a collector. I mean, I've still got I've still got my 360, and I've still got like the games or most of the games I would say I cherish from that generation. And then, I mean, right at this point, like I still buy games like physically when I can. I think just because I still like to like have, I still like having the case. I still like having the disc and the manual and all that
Mm-hmm.
business.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really been like a retro collector at all. I've always just kind of had whatever kind of the current generation was. So I've definitely still got a bookcase full of discs, whether it's games or movies. I still there's stuff where I want to know that I have it, and I don't have to worry about a license expiring somewhere. I always know that I'll have something that I can enjoy when I want to.
Right. Because if you go and sometimes virtual is the only way instead of physical. It's the only way you can get them. One example I can think of is the X-Men arcade game that was
Oh,
released on Xbox 360, PS3. Well, plenty of us purchased it, but now it's gone. You can't re-download it. It's just gone.
well, I thought even
And
that
it's just
I've gotten some game. I know, was it NFL Blitz? Maybe the 360 one. Like you might as well do this. You can like go into your download history and find it from like the last time you downloaded it, and like you can re-download it off of that. But yeah, they take down like the store pages. So it's like
on
if you don't know like the breadcrumb
mm,
trail, then yeah, you're kind of hosed.
no, even worse on this one. If you go into the download history with that, it's just gone. It says
Really?
item unavailable.
Wow.
Like they nuked that thing from existence. Let's see.
Wow. Oh,
Chat here's says same thing with Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Turtles, and Simpsons. They've all been nuked from existence.
wow.
So yeah, it's pretty gross. Thankfully, with TMNT, I have it downloaded on my hard drive for my 360, so I still have it. But if I ever delete it and then go back, I'm screwed. It's over.
Damn. I guess yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Enough people were doing that. They're like, no, we got to close this loophole.
Well, thankfully, with the reshelled collection that's coming out really soon, you don't have to worry about that problem anymore. But still,
Yeah.
what is that about?
Damn. That sucks. Just let us enjoy. See, that's the thing. It's like just let us enjoy the thing we paid for.
Now it's always some company and licensing and all that. It's the same with like there was a Mortal Kombat like the Combat Collection or something is what it was called. Had 1, 2, and an Ultimate 3 on it, and there was a licensing change from the people who originally did like the multiplayer and whatnot to where it is now, and that caused some issue.
Yeah, dumpster monkey in the chat. Yeah, haven't thought about the PT situation in a while.
Yeah.
Selling PS3s.
No, there's some games, just so you guys know, like we were talking about a moment ago, there's some that are just gone. You can go into your purchase history and look at it, and it'll like straight up say item removed. And that's why I understand that there's certain games out there, virtual is the only option you have. I get it. Digital. I keep saying virtual. But nah, most of the time if I have a chance, it's gonna be carts like you have behind me. Because otherwise that just sucks.
Yeah, and just Johnny Chase mentioning Scott Pilgrim. I thought about getting I guess they had like the PS4, Xbox One version of that, and I never got around to it.
Let me ask you this one,
Uh,
because I know you said that retro isn't your biggest thing. What is your bread and butter system? What makes you feel good to sit down in front of?
um, hmm. I mean, like I mean, PS2 is there. I mean, I
Not a
guess
bad
like
choice.
I mean, it's kind of a broad statement, but anything with Halo on it. Actually, kind of going back to the question from a while back of yeah, in the free time, Halo Infinite. So much Halo Infinite because
It's so good, isn't it?
yeah, well, it's got problems, but my friends, being that we are all middle-aged people with lives, one of them is with child, soon to be like another one in our group to be with child. Like, two of us are here in Austin. The other two are in just other parts of Texas. Like, we'll see each other, every so often. But like more than once a week, we'll still squat up on Xbox Live, and we'll be those 9 to 5 gamers, those dad gamers, just trying to get our kills where we can. Like we actually met up a couple weeks ago. We went to one of the other guy out of Austin guys' homes, and he had 2 TVs upstairs in like his landing and 2 TVs in the living room, and we like. I mean, I guess the closest you can get to like landing a Halo game these days, and we did it.
Ooh, nice.
That was the closest I gotten back to high school when we would Combat Evolved, and we would pack 16 people into one person's house and go all night.
Also, you did a C, like original C LAN?
Yeah, back in the day we did, but yeah, this
Nice.
yeah, back in the day we packed 16 people in someone's home, and they're very understanding mother made us snacks, and it was great.
No, that's nice. I got a chance to do that one time back in the day too, and that's when the game was fairly new. I had a buddy is just like, oh, we're gonna go over to this guy's house and we're gonna play Halo. Show up, and it's like 4 TVs, 4 Xboxes, everybody going to town. I was like, oh shit, it's like this. Whoa. But man, that was so good.
We actually, I think it was 2019 at RoosterTeeth. There was a random Saturday where we actually did like a little LAN party on our broadcast studio floor. Because like for sets, we have these 72-inch TVs that will roll out for just different set design things. It's like, and we have 4 of them.
Right.
So we brought 4 Xboxes, and we put these TVs all like in a square, like facing out. Or like we're gonna get our like I guess at this point we would have been playing with a Master Chief collection for the most part. So yeah, it's like we're gonna have our again, yeah, grown man Halo LAN party. And then one of the guys that was playing is actually does lighting for our shows. So it's like I'm gonna do a whole like lighting scheme for this LAN party. And like one side of the room was red and the other side was blue.
Nice. Nice. I hear there's a show about that.
There might be. Let's run, I don't know, like 18 seasons, something like that. That's been around a while.
It's just going to keep going. I think it's just going to keep going for a good bit. Because
Hasn't died yet.
every time you think Halo is starting to cool off, you get something really awesome like this. Because it was rough being a Halo fan for a bit, because you had MCC just not going very well at all. 5, I don't know how you feel about 5, but it didn't work for me. Yeah, it didn't work for me at all. 4, I had no problem with 4, but 5 was just no.
The only thing I've heard people try to defend it from 5 is the action sack. Like everything else is kind of eh.
I like the custom games that we do on game days for good, but otherwise, no. I hear people say, well, the only reason why they don't like it's for this reason. I'm like, no. I don't want to break out the laundry list, so don't make me, but no, we don't want that game. We don't like that game. Infinite made up for everything, though.
Just waiting on some new maps and, I don't know, campaign co-op, among other things. A Forge.
Ooh.
Those would be good. Maybe we get them in May. I don't think we're going to get them in May, but maybe. It'd be cool.
Shout out to Johnny Chase. I'm sure he'd like that. So, well, I'm just going to go ahead and ask it because, like I said, you've been a guy in a lot of people's childhoods. You showed up in a lot of ScrewAttack videos. People know that face, but we don't see it anymore. When are you going to show up in videos again?
I mean, it's just kind of not like my role at Rooster Teeth. Like, there's such like, they don't need another like middle-aged white man on camera. They got a bunch. I mean, usually if you like, you can find me sometimes streaming with the broadcast bunch here on Twitch. That's some of the other guys in broadcast. We have a little Twitch channel on there every so often.
Sure.
But as far as like anything beyond that, I don't know. I gotta finagle my way into the right situation.
We're going to have to convince you to start your own Twitch campaign. You know, Chad shows up with his long, majestic locks now. When he used to have that haircut that he kept for ages, now he's got the long, majestic locks and the beard going on, and we got to get you to do it too.
I'm not built for like, I gotta find the right situation. I'm not built for like solo streaming. Well, that's just not like my strong suit. I gotta find the right situation if I'm gonna do more.
I think it's called Phasmophobia. I hear Chad plays it. Just saying, man.
I'll see. Yeah, I'll see if I can piggyback off of his stuff. Ride those coattails one last time.
Ride them. That's what I say. Have no shame. No shame at all. All right, before we get to the end of this thing, I'm gonna do a little bit of word association.
Okay.
Just throw this out to you, and your answers can be as short or as long as you want them to be.
All right.
Just throw that out, and you give your full, off the top of your head response to this stuff.
Okay.
First one's gonna be easy. ScrewAttack.com.
Something original every freaking day.
Every freaking day. Next one, Channel Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome with the Channel Awesome. James Rolfe.
Great dude. Super nice. Like, I mean, anyone who's talked to him in person, you know, out of character, great dude. Nothing but love for him.
He really is a great guy. Like, every time I've met him, he's just so smiley, so happy. There was even like a party. It was MagFest. Was it 08? Yeah, MagFest 08. I went up to the room that Craig and Chad were in, and Chad was like, "Hey, man, I can get you a drink if you want to hang out." And I said, I think I gotta go. But James was just in the corner with a drink, just smiling and being a happy dude. Me and my Phasmo, yes.
One of the room party memories of MagFest is the guys that did Captain N and their, what would they play? They would do a power hour, something like on the NES. Might have been Zelda, might have been just an emulator playing Pokemon. It was something like 8-bit looking. They would power hour, and we're like in there like sweet. Remember that being just funny.
Speaking of which, MagFest. Everybody just do the Colossus yell. Oh!
No, MagFest was I didn't get to go to it until after it had moved to, was it the Gaylord National Harbor, the big place?
Oh, like, you didn't get to see the old one.
Nah, I never made the trips for the old one. But I just remember like at least one year they had like it was like a break stuff area. I remember shooting a video in there and that was fun.
Break stuff area?
Yeah, it was like I mean you think like the have you seen the like break stuff rooms where it's like you can like rent out and like just smash things?
Fuck no. Wow,
Oh
this is crazy.
yeah, those gotta have to be outside Texas. But yeah, it was an area where it's like just things that could be broken and you like paid and you could go in there and like break stuff. And we're going in there and shooting a video.
I guess that's where all the copies of Shaq Fu go. And that's where they go to die.
Yeah.
Dumpster Monkey wants to know really quick, were you supposed to go to the trip that Chad and Ben were supposed to go to this year?
No, because
Maybe you know.
that one was like a death battle centric trip.
Mm.
And like death battle, it's like I still like run the death battle cast as far as like directing and punching that show. I do that, but that's really my biggest connection to like actually working on death battle these days. This is doing their podcasts.
Just making sure that's smooth.
Yep, that's what I do.
Okay. Death Battle.
Grateful, because I know like death battle, you know, as it was growing, if you went into like the forums back then, and there was kind of that distinct line between the people that were there for death battle and everyone else. And like
Just a bit.
Yeah, like I get that, but also from a professional and career standpoint, like that was such a turning point for ScrewAttack and like opportunities it has presented the rest of us and where our own lives have gone because of it.
Yes.
So for better or for worse, I'm grateful that Ben had the idea and Chad joined him on that adventure.
Absolutely. That's something I've said as I've mellowed out and got on medication. But yes, and that was something I was a little salty about back in the day because everybody watching this knows I was a part of ScrewAttack News. I was the lead news editor at the time. And did Death Battle end that? Yeah, probably. But you know what? I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's worth it. I'd do it all over again because you guys have had amazing careers since. I'm dead certain that's what led to the buyout. That and I mean the success of the convention too, I'm sure. But they saw a show that they could buy into and just piggyback off that and find amazing success, and they were right.
Yeah, I mean without Death Battle, we're probably never on anyone's radar for that kind of buyout that happened. Like that show is responsible for a lot, and yeah, its ripple effects are a lot. So, for better or for worse,
Yeah,
I'm glad it happened.
and it's worth it that I don't get a chance, chat, to talk to these people very often, but I still consider Bryan, Chad, all those folks. I consider them friends, even though I don't get a chance to talk to them that often. I've told people multiple times, my number one and number two people. I'm sorry, Bryan, you're not number one. I hope you can handle it. My number one is Sean Hines. He's the best boss I've ever had. I said it last time too. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it until I'm dead. He was the best ever. And then hanging out with my boy Bryan, definitely. But yeah, they're all great guys, and that show helped them have the amazing careers that they have now. So it's worth it. Absolutely worth it. Going to shoot over the chat real quick. Dumpster Monkey says, Death Battle brought me to the site, but I stayed for the community and clip of the week and screwing around. And when did you start watching that, just out of curiosity, Dumpster? I bet the early 2010s. I bet you were a lot younger. Maybe this guy was part of your childhood. But that leads me to another one. Clip of the week. What are your memories of that?
Um, it being Friday and us going, what the hell are we gonna do for tomorrow? Because there were periods where we had like clips kind of like stocked up and things we kind of knew we could go on, and then there were times when it was Friday and I was like, all right, what are we doing? What's funny? So some clips came together later in the day than others, for sure.
Some of the notable ones I can think off the top of my head, We Don't Take Breaks.
Mm.
That's the tank. That's still fresh in my mind, and I'm sure a lot of people still remember that one. It did Chad's Crazy Japanese Game Show.
Ooh.
That was wild.
That's one
Some good
that's I don't know if you could do that again.
No,
Present day.
you couldn't. You
I
couldn't.
think that one's best left to history.
Yes, that was a wild one. I'm not going to tell anybody what it was about, and you're never going to find out. That's just something for me and him. Have
Uh,
fun with that.
if anyone ever asks Tom better just leave it in his collection and not bring it out.
Yeah, leave it in history. Leave it in history.
Yeah.
Next one I can think of, Craig Schismus.
I mean, again, probably grateful for the opportunity to go there and intern in the first place, and then just kind of offer more and more opportunities as the days, months, and years rolled on. Kind of opened doors to things I never thought I would do, and people I wouldn't know otherwise, and stories I wouldn't have otherwise. So I'd probably go with grateful again.
Well said. Well said. I could agree with that. Gonna hit you with another hard one. Pro Jared.
Oh. I mean, I'd say it's I don't have a ton to say on the kind of last things where he made headlines for less than great reasons, but I love the time that I worked with him. Got to do again, got to go do cool things with him. He's a real creative guy, and
Yeah.
kind of the last thing he really caught attention for was not ideal, but not being on the outside of that as much as the next person. Try not to speak on it too much when I know I'm speaking with as little info as most people.
That's fine. That's fine. I think that was a very well constructed answer. I mean, a very neutral one, and I guess the best way to put it is nobody's perfect.
Yeah, there's a lot there to probably, as far as the parties that were actually part of it, there's a lot that we'll never know, and I don't feel compelled to force my way into knowing. So unless I
No,
ever see them again and they open up, then I am not gonna dwell on it.
very good. Tom the Iron Man.
Legend. Like, I mean, you talk about the kind of the names I could pull out of my head from community members, like all time of ScrewAttack, and he is up there for sure, if not the first one.
Excellent,
I mean,
excellent. Bruno. Oh,
I
go
mean,
ahead. Go ahead.
him, you, Dumpster, Kanan, Hybrid Rain, who's still working with him. you know, Terra Corrupt, Sooner Matt, Cata Wolf. There's, I mean, so many. Yeah, he is. I mean, even if you've seen
Yeah,
it
she could post
at,
Tom's link.
at like Magfest or like SGC, like Tom's like a top dude. I know he's going through some shit right now, but Tom is a top dude.
Yeah, and he's like you said, he's going through some rough times right now. So I know Dumpster in chat just asked if he could post it. Absolutely, absolutely, you can. Nobody should ever have to endure. My God, I couldn't begin to imagine. I just couldn't. One, you have what happened, and I don't want to talk about it here because it's not 100% my place. But one, that happens, and that's horrific, right? Second, you know, not a lot of people carry renter's insurance because they don't think that's going to happen. That's usually something that happens to a house. So just fuck, man. Double fuck on that. That's awful. So anybody, if you're just coming through here and you're not quite sure what I'm talking about, click the link, you'll learn. And if you can help out, then by all means, do it. Do it. And everybody here would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Brental floss.
Funny, creative. Getting to do the when we did the Rainbow Connection parody with Q from Third Strike. Because I wrote that and then he recorded it, and he did call, I guess, before recording it with kind of just some like suggestions, kind of some ways to kind of fit the rhyme structure better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the guy who's just so creative. I mean, he's got his Star Trek Con the musical. Like, he's just such a creative dude.
Yeah, and he's also a game publisher, is he not?
Yeah, I mean, again, yeah, was it Use Your Words? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's doing things. Like, he's out there, man. He's going for it.
RTX.
Can't wait. We're fingers crossed and God willing, we're in person again this summer for realsies. And I can't wait to see everyone again. Whether it's community or people we work with, panels. God willing, there's a rave. Maybe we'll see Angel. I don't know. That'd be cool. Looking forward to it.
Mm. Yeah, Angel's still around. Still, shout out to Angel. He's a pretty popular streamer. He gets the numbers, man.
Exactly.
He does good stuff. And I want to attend RTX next chance I get because it's wild the kind of guests you guys get, because some of them are just YouTubers that I didn't think would be there and I'd really like to meet. Like, a few years back, you guys got James A. Janice from Dead Meat.
Oh yeah.
I love that dude.
I mean, we gotta fill a whole convention center this time, not just like a hotel.
Uh-oh.
So we got lots of rooms with lots of panels.
So there you go, folks. If anybody has an opportunity to get down there and it is in person, sounds like this is going to be one of the biggest RTXs yet.
We're trying.
So definitely check that out.
If COVID keeps chilling out the way it's trying to, and if whatever next variant's not atrocious,
Fingers crossed.
you know.
Fingers crossed. Just best thing I could say is I'm no doctor, but it's probably a good idea to follow what your doctor says, get your shots, wear your mask, wash your hands. Jeez. Do those things, make it sure that everybody is exactly. See, watch what he's doing. That's how you wash, and you'll be fine. Let's see. Angel is permanently in America now, right? Yes. Yes, he is.
He is retired from the Air Force.
So no more random tours overseas or anything like that. He's here. He's here to stay. He likes to do some traveling with his daughter, but most of the time you're going to find him over on Twitch. So check him out there. And I guess the last thing I want to ask you is the future of RTX. What are we going to see? What are going to be some of the features? Sell RTX this year to everybody.
I mean, there's I don't think we've actually announced any of the events going on, so I can't really pull back a curtain because like if we I shouldn't be there's like one thing I know is happening.
Oh, don't.
Because I
If
was
it's
on the scouting trip for it. Anything else, I am out of the loop on. All
gonna
I know
say
is
don't say things you
RTX.
can't say. I don't want that
Yeah.
shuriken to come through the window.
All I know is, God willing, RTX is in person this year.
What good stuff, man. Oh, I know what I'll hit you with. What would be your ideal RTX if you could put it together? I know you're saying that you don't have anything together right now, but if Bryan were putting it together, what would you want this year?
If there was like one like special event part of RTX.
Mm-hmm. What's been missing that you want?
Huh.
I don't know. We may have stumped him.
I mean, we have so much.
Do you have a bouncy house?
Well, it's like I could say like if DJ Cutman came to do the rave again, but like Grindcraft has been so good. Or like I don't remember if we really had like a arcade in like 2019. So that was kind of the thing that like ScrewAttack kind of brought to RTX with our buddies at Arcades for Home. We were kind of responsible for the arcade part. I don't really remember there being one in 2019, so I don't know. Maybe it's like a banging arcade.
Yeah, that's what I would ask for. Yeah, exactly, chat. 24-hour arcade and land room. I mean, you gotta have that. So that's what I would say. Have something like that and make it just as big as possible. Because, like you said, it's a really big building. Disco, right?
Well, so it's the difference between like a hotel con and a convention center con, because we're predominantly in the Austin Convention Center, which keeps like convention center hours, as opposed to like like Magfest being there in the
Oh,
Gaylord. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like hotel cons, like you can run all hours.
right. So this is going to have some limited hours to it.
Well, so yeah, it does run on a pretty like defined schedule between, because even though we're in the convention center, in the past we've also had two other hotels we run stuff at. And the majority of that still falls with like normal con hours. When we had the ScrewAttack like Arcades for Home arcade there, I think we kept that going 24 hours because like our buddies who actually ran that were just cool doing that.
Right.
I think without that, the cons generally, doors in the, kind of doors closed by dinner time, except for the special events of the evening that have their own extra tickets that get sold. So you're kind of like turned loose onto downtown Austin at that point. As opposed to keeping you all in like an arcade or like an arcade.
So it might be a different beast than what everybody's used to previously, but I'm sure because of all the extra space, it's going to be that much better.
Hopefully. Hopefully the events team is cooking up something crazy.
We're hoping. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, everybody. All right, before we wrap this thing up, I'm going to give you the floor, Bryan. Anything you want to say to everybody watching, anything we haven't talked about yet, it's all you.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for kind of supporting all these years, whether it's been ScrewAttack or RoosterTeeth, whether it's been in front of the camera or behind a bunch of cameras. Always appreciate the love and support and kind of all the things I've gotten to do. I can say it's as much with the people I do it in the room with, but it's as much y'all at home kind of giving us the opportunity, allowing us the opportunity to go do those crazy things. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Somebody popped right in and said that they were sad they didn't get the notification, but they're glad to see the beard
Oh,
is doing well.
well, thank you. Hope you're
Br-
doing well too.
Brian the Beard Baker. Really quick before we wrap it up, just a little trivia for anybody who didn't know. In the modern admin section, our code name for Craig was the Hat. In case anyone didn't know that, we did have a code name, a code word for Craig, and it was the Hat. For obvious reasons.
Yep.
Okay, well, guys, that's been this edition of the Reset Button. I want to thank Brian one more time for coming out because, again, we don't get to see a lot of Brian. He doesn't do streams. He's usually behind the camera instead of being in front of it. But, he came out here, he talked with us, and we had an awesome time. Hope you did too.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, no problem. No problem. Again, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Mainly when I started this, I was dreaming up like, okay, who do I know? I know like Brian, Chad, I'll get James Ronald, and a bunch of old ScrewAttack people I know. And mainly it was like, yeah, I want to do a podcast, ask him questions, but I just want to talk to him again.
I'm glad we could finally make this happen.
Excellent, excellent. Guys, have a great night. Thank you for coming out and chatting with us. And soon enough, you know who's going to be next. I'll see you again with Chad James. Take care.